It's a great day in SimWorld, everybody. Apparently, I'm a ghost this morning. Half me is a ghost, but don't worry about it. The rest of me is here. It's a great day in SimWorld. I am B Ron alongside me as always. This is my co-host Yells. Apparently a little spooky this morning. I don't know why, but hey, we're here. We're doing it. We're doing it.
It's the nightmare before Christmas, B-Ron. What are
Yeah,
you doing? That is
I have
freaking
no
me out.
idea.
Hey. Your head is in the clouds. What in the world?
Absolutely. I don't know what is going on, man. But you know what? It's all right. We're gonna get through it because we got stuff to talk about. Man, we had a great day yesterday. Let's go over some things. I see Simro got the Riel's got some rocking the merch this morning. I see here.
It's a great
All
day
right,
in SimWorld.
sir. Absolutely. Let's begin to our recaps, shall we? The OGs taking on Run DMV last night, and Cooper Flag and the boys went crazy over there. They really, really did, man. It was absolutely impressive performance from them. 68-49 in the win. And, it was one of those things where, again, like I said, Cooper Flag and the OGs really did what they wanted to do
Good Lord.
all game. All game was insane.
Oh, John Hudgens supposed to be. Man, look at that. Look at that shot. If that's what he's doing, I'm floored. I'm floored. That's scary.
Yep.
It's scary hours.
Absolutely. Real scary hours for anybody playing the OGs right now. They moved to 3-0 with their 68-49 win over Run DMV.
Yeah. Look, Cooper Flag is the truth. We're gonna keep saying it. Raise the flag.
Yeah.
People keep saying, well, actually, to be fair, I don't think I've heard anyone say recently, "Oh, I don't know about him." There was so much talking. You know who's doing all the talking now? Coaches. Coaches are talking about,
Yeah.
man, this kid is good. All the players have gone ho hum quiet. All that talking, and I think there's some fear. There's some true fear for when they have to face this kid on the court. What did he put up last night? Was it 29-ish? 29 points, 13 boards. Again, what makes this team so scary, in my opinion, is Cooper Flag. We could talk about him being unguardable, having a great motor, all those other things. At some point, a team is going to figure out how to defend him, right? One of these
Yeah,
teams,
exactly.
one of these great coaches, they're getting a first look at him. That's what it is, freak athlete. When you first see somebody with that skill set, when you first saw a Magic Johnson, a LeBron James, a Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. Well, not Kobe. In his early years, he had to earn it. But when people first saw these guys, they weren't prepared at first, and then they came up with the skill. But now with the OGs. Once you figure that out, then you have to stop Jay Laster. Then you have to stop Justin McGavin, who have not gotten going yet. And then defensively, they're stalwarts. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Defensively, 49 points a game is all they're giving up. Opponents are only able to shoot 37% from the field against these guys. So while everyone wants to talk about the offensive exploits of Cooper Flag, B-Ron, they need to be worried about how do you manufacture points against this team.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. How do you get points? Because you're not. It seems like you're not going to outscore them. So you got a hard time. Hard time outscoring them. So how do you get points just to even get on the board at this point? Really. And that's been the challenge they've had to deal with, along with highest Cooper Flag, double last night, like you said, 29 points in 27 minutes and 13 rebounds. So, shot 48% from the field, which is impressive on those 27 minutes and all of that. But let's get on to our next one. Another team looking to stay undefeated. So Heartland Zombie Stars, as they went on to play the Gotham 5 last night at home, and it was a productive day for Benari James and Jaquan Johnson.
Yeah, it was. They got going early. Offensively, they're the two that we expected to see big things from. Not huge numbers, but enough. More than enough there. Who was that? Is that Carl? Oh, who is? My goodness, who was that?
Putting the double team there. That was very nice. Putting the in there.
There's Jaquan there going to work on the inside And then there's a beautiful pass from Robert McGee. I'm a big Robert McGee fan. But more importantly, B-Ron, got them 5, only put up 55 points in this game. Is that more a byproduct of the defense of the Heartland Zombie Stars? Or are those true struggles and got them 5? They're sitting at 0-3 right now.
At this point, I think you got to consider it to be struggles. It'd be different if they have won a game here and there, start the season, but they haven't won a game yet. So at this point, I would consider this struggles. Now they had production, Majer and Mugen Williams put up points, but nobody else on the team really did a whole lot else. Carter Cash struggled in 22 minutes. He 5 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. So he did other things, but they need some help over there. It seems like I'm not sure where it comes from, where it starts at, but it has to come from somebody other than Majer and Mugen at this point. What about you? What do you think?
I like I've said, what's been a common theme early on this season for me, B-Ron. I don't know their identity. I know what I think I should see, but then again, I'm not even certain who all you run that through. They are a guard-heavy, ball-dominant team. They have a lot of guys who can go create their own shots. Do they have a lot of guys that can go get that like to move the ball? I'm not sure. They ended the game with 14 assists. Heartland Zombie Stars had 19. 14 assists is nothing to sneeze at. Were those, I have to dominate the ball and create points for somebody else assists, or those in the flow of the game assists?
Right, yeah. Because those are two different things entirely.
Two very different things. I got to watch Catino Mobley and Steve Francis back in the day, so I know all about that. Anyhow, Carter Cash, definitely think he should be getting more focus. Kel McKnight, for me, he's once he gets to SimWorld U, I think we're really going to see what that kid has to offer. Incredibly skilled kid. Javion Deck, 9 minutes. I'm a little floored by that. Majer Williams, we all know what he can do, but 16 shot attempts. I feel as if this is one of those teams where the ball needs to be spread. There needs to be a greatly diversified and varied offense, but you need to know who that go-to person is in moments. And it looks like they start games off in that way, but they don't get into their go-to late in games, and they just kind of get taken away from it. So no identity, in my opinion. 0-3. 0-3 says it all.
Yeah, exactly. And the theme of the day is undefeated teams, it seems like, because we're going to go to our third game.
Well, before you jump into that, B-Ron, that's the funny thing is, for all the teams that are 3-0, that's kind of been the common theme in the thread is now that we're from past 2-0 and we're at 3-0 and 0-3. 3-0, we still need to figure out what they really are. Let's see if that's truly a team that's as good as they are. But 0-3. There's a clear indication of the direction you're headed. It's a great dichotomy there. But yeah, let's get into the next one.
Yeah. Of course. We can come back. We'll come back to that topic here in a minute. But Rocky Mountain taking on the reigning Trays in the final game of our SimWorld TV triple header.
It was good too.
They certainly impressed us. Early on, both teams were back and forth offensively, and it was really, really fun to watch. Jason Crosser looked the best that he's looked in what all this time really in SimWorld Prep so far.
Yes, in his entire time in SimWorld Prep, knocking down outside jumpers. There's that man, Lucas. But we got to see before we get to Jason Crosser. We got to see Justin Bell finally unleashed. Yeah, there's all that talk about if Coach Robinson's allowing him to go. Well, I guess there you go. 26 points, 26 minutes. Justin Bell said, "Don't worry about all that. I got this."
Right. I'm good. And he looked phenomenal, really all game. Able to get to the basket pretty much at will and get his shot wherever he wanted to.
Showing athleticism.
Yes, and those are all things that we expected to see. Justin Bell. It was only a matter of time before it happened, and to add on top of all of that, there was still production from the other players we've seen them play really well so far this season. They still played well.
Look at that pass.
The passes here are absolutely phenomenal, yo.
Yeah, I mean, I said it on the call last night. They look like they have a big 3 or 4, a lot like they had last season. Justin Bell more defined as their number one role player, despite what we've seen the first 2 games from Dink Pate. But Dink Pate is clearly one of their leading players. Bunde Thunder showing he has offensive ability and range. And then still Lucas Banks, the forgotten guy. I'm pretty sure he's going to have a breakout game. Oh, that is beautiful from Rian Fugazi.
Pretty sure it's Ryan Fugate. Y'all are doing too much over there.
Whatever you said, B-Ron. But Rocky Mountain, they just look like a complete team from top to bottom. But as we continue to walk through these highlights, it was a close game all the way around, B-Ron, until late in the game. We see Zane Davis finish there. Jafet Towns finished with 29 points. It looked like he was going to go absolutely bonkers. But he got locked up later in the game. That's a deep 3. That's tough.
Yeah, deep 3, tough, but fell anyway. And as you can see, it was a really close game for a majority of it. Really,
6-point game here, and that might have been the play that turned it around. Great pass from Dink Pate. Justin Bell, I think that was point number 21 for him in the game. And then we see a steal here as the Rocky Mountains up 10. Terrible transition defense as he goes coast to coast.
Yeah, nobody stopped the ball.
Yeah, Rocky Mountain takes home the victory, 91-77 in a game that ended up looking not as close as it actually was, B-Ron.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that goes to the fact that, again, Rocky Mountain, they play a very team-oriented style of basketball, and sure, they may have a quote-unquote number one in Justin Bell. I have an article coming about this later.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Shameless plug.
Some heat for my take, I imagine, but I'm no stranger to that as of late, it seems like. Justin Bell, Bunde Thunder, Dink Pate, Zane Davis, all those kids double digits in points. When you have a team like this that plays team basketball, this is what it is. This is what it's about here. And to go back to go over to the other side for the trades for a second, because I had said earlier in the offseason that I was concerned about the trades because without Kevon Jackson, was it just going to be about Jafet Towns? And was Jafet Towns this season late stage outlaw in the respect that he'd have to do it all for his team? I think he's still in a spot where he's going to have to do it all, but it looks like he has some help, finally. Jason Crosser, like I said, looked the best he's looked in his time in SimWorld Prep. And Ryan Fugate here looked good as well. 11 points, a rebound. And he did have a turnover here and there, but I think he's gonna have help, and I don't think it's as bad as I thought it was going to be coming into the season. So that's good.
Bad is good. Well, I'm tired of you ghosting me on this screen. It's really freaking me out, B-Ron. Look, on the Rocky Mountain side, of things, I'm digging through stats here. Yes, it's only 3 games in, but they are far and beyond. As I look at the only team in SimWorld Prep that has 3 players scoring over 15 points a game. Dink Pate is averaging 21. He's leading them in assists with 4.3 assists. Justin Bell, after his performance last night, it's only 3 games, 16.7 points per game. And Bunde Thunder, 15.7. I don't know if he'll be able to keep that up, but right on his heels is Lucas Banks at right about 8. Everybody on this team is contributing. They're shooting at a high clip. They're playing defense when they need to play it. Last year, under Coach Myers, as he came in, a lot of people were calling Rocky Mountain a front runner for the championship. A lot of people held on to Bay Area as a favorite just because people love Bay Area, the Breakers. Everybody's hopped off that train quick, right? But Coach Robinson has these guys going, and I can't wait until we hear from Devontae King, the owner out there, because I'm pretty sure if they keep this up, we're going to hear some more club stories.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. Hopefully we don't, but you never know. To give credit where it's due to Coach Robinson, he was there for the beginning of last season, so he got them in that position to begin with. Olsen Myers came in and took over and did what he had to do to continue them on that role that they were on. They were one of my favorites to get to the Race to One championship, and it didn't happen, unfortunately, last season. But new season, we'll see if they can get there and Yeah. So we talked about a lot of teams who stay undefeated. One of the teams who did not stay undefeated last night was the Philadelphia Elite. And they didn't do that. When they played Beast of the East, they lost that game, and I think we have a graphic here from that game, matter of fact here, but there that loss in particular, you could talk about the players on the court and the big how they didn't execute. The bigger story though coming into the game was didn't have Coach Reese Williams on the sideline with them for that game, serving a one game suspension. So is this loss more indicative of the impact of Dries Williams' coaching, or is it more about the players on the court not executing the game plan, whatever it was? Because me and Jared talked about it before the game started. They had time to prepare with Coach Dries. He wasn't there on the court. He wasn't there with them during the game, but he was there getting them ready for the game. So is it one of the other, or a combo of both, in your opinion?
Um, I mean, this is easy for me. I don't want to sit here and act like I'm thinking it over. Be, be wrong. This is the importance of having your coach on the sidelines. This is the importance of live coaching, in-game adjustments. Anyone can go out there and set a strategy before a game and just watch it play out. The Zen Master used to do it for years, but he also had to get out. I'm talking about the real Zen Master. No, no, no.
Phil
No harm,
Jackson.
no foul there, Phil Jackson. But you still have to be able to go out there and adjust if your plan's not working, right? It's all about adjustments. This is what you see in the game of football. You watch in the first quarter, second quarter, particularly at halftime, something hasn't worked. You make an adjustment and hope that you have the time. In basketball, the game moves so fast that those real time adjustments are everything that you need. So Coach Dries, who does an excellent job at making real time adjustments. He's really an analytical coach. The team sorely missed that. It looks like here they were in the game. They weren't. It wasn't just a beatdown from start to finish, but it got out of hand. There's some things
Right.
that could have been adjusted there. I would suspect that Monty Parsons would have started touching the ball a bit more when Nas Hall started to get a little Nas Hawley, as he does at times. Either he's hot, man, or he's cold. It's one I've yet to see in between. But Monty Parsons, I would have expected him to get some more touches, and defensively, I would have thought some changes would have been made. So sideline adjustments, in-game adjustments, that's what was sorely missing. I don't think
Yep.
the pregame preparation was an issue at all, to be totally honest.
No, I agree with you there to a point. I do think that it is important for the coaches to do what they do and make those adjustments. Players on the court still have to go out and execute the game plan. The coaches can't make you do it. They can put you in a position to do it. So I think it's a bit of both. Because like I said, they weren't out of it until they were out of it. It got out of hand late, but for most of that game, they needed a few adjustments, a few things to change, and then it would have been better off. But I do think it's a little bit of both in that situation, and in my opinion. But we got anything else you want to say on that before we move on? I
Nope.
want to cut you off or
I'm
anything.
glad to
Okay,
see them come
okay,
back and see in their next matchup here how they perform. So I can
absolutely.
look right again.
Yeah. The show has been a bit of a sandwich today. We started with the high of the team being undefeated. Went to the middle part where we had a little bit of negative. Let's end on some positives though, maybe perhaps. So Gulf Coast and the OGs remain undefeated after last night. And I know it's just 3 games. But are we past the point of that small sample size, early days phase stage of things? And are these teams in particular on to something? Because Gulf Coast came in, Coach Heesh made his waves, his impact, talking about winning the championship in year one, and there was some controversy around him with how he was building the team and that kind of stuff. And the OGs getting Cooper Flag, Jay Laster, and building that team up from where it was last season to be right back where they left off pretty much last season. Are those two teams on to something? Are they better than we thought they were gonna be? In Gulf Coast in particular, more so to this topic.
So I'm gonna be respectful to everyone here. I know this topic is about these two teams, and for very good reason. But let's not discredit Cascadia. We have 6 teams sitting at 3-0, or
Yes.
six teams that are undefeated. Currently, Cascadia looking mighty tough, as people expected at one point, and then people stopped talking about them. The media hype was there. Heartland Zombie Stars, not anything flashy. I think we've yet to see them on a national broadcast. Not anything super flashy, but they're sitting at 3-0 with Coach Lovelace getting the job done.
Yeah,
Rocky
I didn't think
Mountain.
they'd been defeated. I'll tell you that much right now. I didn't think
Hey,
they would be.
it's 3 games though. Rocky Mountain, we just finished talking about them, and they look awfully impressive to me. SimWorld Europe, we have not gotten a chance to see them, only at 2-0. We'll get to see them more here soon. But
Yep.
then Gulf Coast Lockdown, all the talk that preceded this 3-0, that's what has them in the spotlight.
Right,
The
exactly.
originators, Cooper Flagg, Coach Dodge, Jay Laster, that's the reason they're in this segment, and we're talking about them, and that's how these things work. The OGs are legitimate. Through 3 games, they've held teams to 49 points. I can't say that enough. I don't need to talk about Cooper Flagg. I don't need to talk about their offense. They could have John Brown Jones, B. Ron, Rick Blaze, and all the other guys that would take second place to me in a game, all on a team. If you guys held a team to 49 points,
Yeah.
then y'all are the real deal. If you that's a phenomenal achievement. So there's nothing left to say about OGs. Yes, they're showing it on defense. That's discounting everything else that they've done well. That we could run through those stats of where they're leading the league or in the top 5 in some other areas. On the
Right.
Gulf Coast side, they look. Here's what it is about them. They look clutch. They haven't just been beating the hell out of teams.
Right.
They've done it when they've needed to. Kai Killens is shown to be uber clutch. Carson Cutbirth is an absolute dimer, and as a whole, this team defensively, whoever's needed to step up and get something done in a moment has done it. So Gulf Coast looking like the real deal. Looks like Coach Heesh came out, talked his talk, and his players are saying, "We're gonna help you back it up, Coach."
Yeah, they're all walking the walk and backing up the talk over there for sure. We do have to keep in mind, though, and I'm going to end it on this because, again, we had to talk about it. If you remember back to last season, SimWorld South America started the season 5-0
Oh yeah,
and then fell off a cliff.
yeah,
So
sure.
I'm not wishing that on anybody. I'm not wishing that on anybody. I am not wishing that on anybody.
3
But it's
times.
something to keep in mind.
I will note that
All
B. Ron, that's the one time on this show that he did not ghost on camera, so he must have meant it. Before you get out of here, B. Ron,
yeah,
I want to make sure that we do it since those guys are sitting at 3-0. I want to shout
yeah,
out the Lock and Key crew, as they call themselves. The Lock and Key, I like it, man. He put that
yeah.
key in that door and he
That's
locked it.
great
I
moniker.
like
I
it.
love that. Great moniker. Well, look, guys, thank you all for joining us today on SimWorld today. We really appreciate you all tuning in. As always, remember if you're on YouTube, like the video, subscribe to the channel, join us here on Discord, all that good stuff. Those links will be in the description below, obviously, and all of that. But remember, until tomorrow, you remember, guys, SimWorld is the only place where you can see the game, be the
And
game.
be the
We'll see
game.
you tomorrow.
This has been a presentation of SimWorld Sports.